You know, I'm staying away from the table.
All right. We're live, everyone. Welcome to the DeKalb County Central United School District Board of Education Special Board Meeting. Today is Thursday, January 8th, 2026. I'll ask all that are able to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Angie, could you do a roll call, please?
Dr. Armstrong.
Present.
Tony Baker.
Present.
Tony O'Neill.
Present.
Katie Easter.
Present. Thank you, Angie. At this time, I'll ask the board to adopt and amend the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next is the report of the superintendent.
Right, so the purpose of our special board meeting this evening is to complete the process of filling a board vacancy. DeKalb Central received a resignation on this effective December 14th. And by Indiana statute, the board has 30 days to fill that seat. So over the course of the holidays, and in the midst of all the holiday celebrations and craziness over Christmas break and New Year's, the board put a plan together, a timeline together to accept applications. And I think we commented on Monday night, just the total number of applications that were received. I think in all 14 applications were received. 2 of those individuals withdrew their names prior to the first round of interviews. And then we had an additional one on Monday as well. So a total of 11 applicants were interviewed on Monday evening. And then afterwards, by statute, the board was allowed to meet in executive session to narrow those candidates down to no fewer than 3. And so the board was successful in bringing back, and I'll just say, it was just great to see the number of very qualified, highly qualified individuals wanting to fill this vacant seat on the board. And so 3 of those applicants were invited back tonight for the board to complete the process of filling this board seat. So I'll throw it back to President Armstrong.
Yes, this hasn't been an easy process for any of us. So, and I feel for all of you guys, having to come here and present in public, but kudos to you for caring so much about our district and the success. So thank you for being here. So we're going to start tonight out by randomly selecting our first person to come up forward and have a seat at the table, and we'll get started on questions. Do you guys have anything else?
Are we good? Sorry.
Go ahead.
No pressure, Angie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Our first person tonight is Lauren Anderson. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Hi, Lauren. Hi.
Great. Our first question for you this evening is, what are the top 2 to 3 priorities you believe our district should focus on over the next 3 to 5 years? And how would you, as a board member, help achieve them while representing diverse community voices?
Yes, definitely the top 2 things that I think are a focus is, making sure that we're doing everything that we can to ensure everyone is staying in the district, that we can grow as a community as much as we possibly can, because essentially the way the funding works now is, the money follows the students. So we need to do whatever we can to make sure the students are staying within our district and that we're being as appealing to outside students and families, that want to come and move into DeKalb Central as well.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, and let me add to that, you asked for two things, forgive me. The second thing obviously is gonna be, that, we're focusing on teacher retention. And, our teachers are our greatest asset that we have. And so, I wanna make sure that they're supported as much as possible. And I think those two main factors are really critical as we're moving forward as a district.
Thank you. The second question is, what are your top 3 goals as a school board member?
I definitely feel like we need to ensure for advocacy, in fairness and equity in all of our pathways that we're bringing to students. I definitely think that being as, fiscally responsible and ensuring that we have continuous improvement is definitely the most important factors when we're, for a board member.
Okay, the next one is, what are the biggest challenges our district currently faces? And what solutions or perspectives would you bring to the table as a board member?
What are the biggest challenges, you said? That's a great one. I honestly would have to, definitely get involved to understand, what are the current, challenges that are facing the district as of right now. But I definitely could see us, evolving in our trades programs. I think we need to continue to diversify as a district. I think we've done a great job with our AP programs. I definitely think that also developing and making sure that our special ed education department is feeling very well supported as well. So.
Thank you. Number 4, DeKalb and other similarly sized communities have experienced declining enrollment. What do you see as the 3 main contributing factors to this trend?
Can I repeat the question one more time?
Yes, DeKalb and other similarly sized communities have experienced declining enrollment. What do you see as 3 main contributing factors to this trend?
To our declining enrollment. Well, I think what has kind of held us back, to date has been some of our facilities and just lack of opportunity. When families are looking at what is available, to their students in district, they're looking at the whole picture, and so I think some of, we've not necessarily had the best, facilities and sports programs and some of our extracurriculars, especially with the band. I think we've done a great job catching up on all of that, but I feel like that's maybe held us back a little bit, the last few years. And so I think all the strides that this district has made to, play catch up, the programs I feel like have always been there, our academics have held their own across the area. So I think that's kind of been something that's been a little bit of a deterrent, but I think everyone has done a great job, marketing and promoting what the great things that have been approved and the advancements that, this district is taking from all different avenues. So I would say that's probably what kind of has been a little bit of a deterrent, and maybe people are just seeking opportunities elsewhere, and hopefully we can work to change that.
Thank you.
So I got 2 out of the 3. What's the third?
Yes, sorry, forgive me, all these, yes, so,
Okay.
what was the question again?
It's just basically, what are your ideas of why enrollment has decreased in our area and other counties that are similar to ours?
Yes, that is a great question. The third thing that would attribute to the district leaving, it could possibly just be diversification. Sometimes people are just looking for a different culture, and, maybe DeKalb Central wasn't necessarily the fit for them, but I think that's why it's really critical to continue to survey and analyze, actively who's coming into the district, who's in the district, and who's leaving. We need to continue to analyze and take metrics on why those folks are leaving, and hopefully work to have policy to correct that. So, thank you, Tony, for giving me. I didn't keep track of the 3 parts there.
Tony Baker.
I know who she meant.
Okay. As a school board member, there are various obligations, commitments, and levels of involvement. How much time are you able or willing to dedicate to serving this role?
I am currently, my own business owner, so I do have a lot of flexibility with my time. I've come from a career for the last 18 years that I've been on call and in the medical device world, answering to clinicians and their staff. So my family and husband has been very familiar with flexibility and taking role of our family if I'm not able to be present. So I do have, the ability to, commit as much time as needed for this role to be successful.
This vacancy appointment will serve from now through December 31st, 2026. This seat is up for election this year, with declarations of candidacy in May and a general election in November. What are your intentions regarding this role?
I would definitely plan on, signing up to run for the election in November. So, I would go to the clerk's office and put my name in the hat and start campaigning and definitely get my name out in the community and kind of let them know who I am and what I'm about and how I'm here to advocate for DeKalb Central.
Thank you. What do you see as the key challenges in school funding, both now and looking ahead?
It definitely, in learning about school funding, which is definitely something that was very foreign to me before I started looking into this process, and it definitely shows that, the money is following the child. So every head count in this district matters. So we need to do obviously whatever we can to maintain that student population and continue to grow. But also, forgive me, what was the question again?
It's all right. I love two-part questions. So.
My ADHD kicks in. The nerves.
Yeah, you're fine. Just like, how do you feel that, or what are the challenges now, and then maybe looking ahead towards the future as well?
School funding.
Yes, the school funding, thank you. So, obviously, you have your education fund and then your operations fund. So, we need to be as fiscally responsible as we can. If we're not being as effective and efficient with all of our taxpayer dollars, and that's ultimately what we need to do. We only have so much money, and our students are our greatest asset. So we need to make sure that we're being as responsible and, as fiduciary as we can. So.
Thank you. The district uses a variety of methods to communicate throughout the community. How can the district improve communication and transparency?
I think definitely reaching out in multiple different modalities. Everybody has a different way of receiving information. So I definitely think it's critical to, be putting out, videos or, automated podcast type things as far as kind of the overall health and state of the district, but also getting out amongst the community members. We need to meet people at where they're at, and they can't always come to us or don't necessarily feel like the school board's necessarily approachable. So I think it's critical for us as members and kind of the bridge gap between the community and the district to be able to get out and kind of educate and communicate and just understand what people's needs and concerns are.
Thank you. That was actually the second part to my question, and I paused to say that, and then I was going to ask that, but you answered that as well. So thank you. What does student academic success look like to you?
Well, I think the reality in this day and age is, we can't just focus on the test scores. We need to focus on the overall health of the child and the individual. Everybody's taking a different path in life. So, like I said, we need to meet them where they're at. So, we need to do whatever we can to ensure that, their post-secondary readiness, it's not just about a test score, but how are we developing the overall person? Are we giving them the skills to succeed moving out in life? And are they having a great enough experience with DeKalb Central that they're willing to come back or stay and continue to work and contribute to our community, which, obviously our community is our greatest asset.
All right, thank you. Did you guys have anything else this evening?
I do.
Okay.
You mentioned, I'm looking back at your application and why you are interested in being on the school board section.
Mhm.
Memorize that?
I did not memorize
Good for
that.
you. Good for you. I didn't either. It says you mentioned your heart falls on student achievement, which is kind of the last question there. As a student athlete at the Calvin IU, success and failure come hand in hand in the classroom as well as on the playing field. What advice would you give a parent or a student when they come to you for guidance as a possible board member?
Oh, what are they looking for guidance? This question I think is very important. You know, we need to be very diplomatic as board members and, you know, we need to take the time to hear everyone out and, you know, understand what their, you know, needs and concerns are. I ultimately, you know, have come from a career of, you know, successes and failures, you know, so I think it's definitely important to be able to, you know, kind of let people feel like they can have a connection, make sure that we're doing our best to advocate and, yeah. Sorry, I don't know that I answered your question, but.
You did a nice job. Thank you.
We've talked a lot as a board that we want our board to represent our entire community. How do you feel like you would help that?
The entire community. I mean, I've had the unique opportunity of being able to kind of get involved in many different factors of the community, whether it's, you know, coaching or, you know, working for some nonprofits. My career has kind of left me in a world where I've always been at a customer service level. You know, I'm always kind of answering to physicians. My time has always been someone else's. So I feel like I've had a lot of unique experiences in life, but I'm also a very compassionate and empathetic person, you know, so as Tony said, I did play college athletics, you know, so I'm very passionate and driven person, but I'm also very empathetic and heartfelt, you know, so I always want to see and do the best for everyone involved. And I try to think of things as a whole picture, you know, I don't try to silo and pigeonhole down one path. You know, I try to look at things outside of the box and, you know, what is it that we're missing? So that's kind of how I typically think and operate is, you know, what else are we missing? What else can we bring that's gonna, you know, put everything together?
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you very much. Should I take this water? Or?
Sure.
Echo.
I guess you're last.
Hi, Echo.
Good evening.
Thanks for being here tonight again.
Hello.
Deep breath.
Yes.
I'm trying. We're nice. Part of those guys back there.
All right. What are the top 2 to 3 priorities you believe our district should focus on over the next 3 to 5 years? And how would you, as a board member, help achieve them while representing diverse community voices?
I think I would really start like looking at long, outside of the box, long game. Really just attracting people into the DeKalb community. DeKalb Central is a great school district, but I think and sometimes we get a little competitive in neighboring communities. And there's this perception that, you know, maybe we're not always the best or always have the greatest facilities. So getting in front of that, leading by example, being out there, showing up for the kids every day. That's just something I've always been really passionate about. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought just that fast. I took too many notes earlier today. But yeah, just being there and trying to grow. I love the facilities project. I've been very passionate about that. I pushed for that back when my kids were in school. So I'm excited to see where we're headed. So just always having that end game in mind, which really the direction that we're going, there shouldn't necessarily be an end game, but we just want it to be the best place for our students to be, so.
Thank you. What are your top 3 goals as a school board member?
I would probably start with getting more involved in the community, whether that's just being out there, being available, just maybe even going door to door. I know we'll talk about the election piece here shortly, but really I would love to get out in the community and help with some of the perception that is out there. I know people get really brave on social media and we have all those keyboard warriors, but just getting in front of that, helping explain people the why of what we're doing, why we're doing it. I think if you can start with the why on what our goal is and what our vision is, then that will really help bring them along with what we're actually doing. So, and then, I think that was my 3 things. Yep, I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay, you wanna sum up those 3, because I got one.
You got one?
I got
Okay.
getting involved in the
Getting
community.
involved in the
That's a lot of
community.
explanation.
So getting more involved in the community, I'd want to work on some of the community perception that's out there. Especially social media can be our own worst enemy sometimes, just with those keyboard warriors. So helping get out in front of that and being a positive influence out there, just showing them what DeKalb's about, showing up to the games, showing up to the events, showing up to the musicals, and really helping on that platform. And then the last one would be explaining the why. I think a lot of people get really focused in on tax dollars and how this is gonna impact them, and without understanding the entire process. So, those would be my 3 things.
Good, thank you. Welcome. What are the biggest challenges our district currently faces? And what solutions or perspectives would you bring to the table as a new board?
I don't want to get too redundant, but I really think one of the biggest challenges is the unity within the community. It seems to be a lot, not saying this politically at all, but a lot of left and right. Like we have this group of people that we want to do better, we want to have better facilities, we really want to help our students succeed. And then we have another group that's really focused on the financial aspect and how that's going to impact them, the farming community, what that's going to look like on the taxes side. But bringing that all together and helping everybody understand what our goal is. So I think unity would probably be one. I currently live in Ashley. I actually come from a farming family, so I do hear a lot of those concerns. But I think really pulling those 2 groups together and letting them know we all have the same common goal, and just helping everybody see that that is what we're trying to do. So.
Along with that, what are your thoughts about the conflict between the number of different communities we have because of the overall district being Corona, Ashley, Waterloo, Auburn? How all that plays into that piece of community and financial community.
So, those are in our school district, we have several different demographics. So, I was born and raised in Ashley. I've lived in Ashley mostly my entire life. Moved away for a few years. So I think having somebody that knows that common ground and can relate, and is very open to hearing different sides. It's been an adjustment. I'm actually gonna use my son as an example. Sorry, buddy. So, in sports, starting from elementary school, when we started getting them into football and basketball, we always heard, he's the Ashley kid. Or he can't carry the ball, he's the Ashley kid. Now, he definitely came out, and I always taught him, leave it out on the field. Do your thing and do your best, and I truly think that he rose above that. So, I know we look at it and we see all those different demographics, and we have like the different income bases within the school district. So I think having somebody in this role that could really help bring all of that together, and somebody that others can relate to. So, did that answer it for you?
Thank you. Welcome. DeKalb and other similarly sized communities have experienced declining enrollment. What do you see as 3 main contributing factors?
From my experience as a mother of a DeKalb athlete, one of the major ones was facilities. but then also the coaches that came along with that. And I think over the past year, we've made some really great strides in improving that. Shoot, I lost it just that fast. Can you repeat the question?
That's okay. Basically, there's a trend of,
People moving out?
yeah, but not just in our community and other ones similar to ours. And we're just looking for what factors you think are contributing to that.
Yeah, I do think it is, I mean, athletes, they can go anywhere now. All of the travel sports and you have travel coaches trying to recruit in other school districts. I can't even tell you how many times we were approached to take Kaden to other schools. I really think with the improvements to the facilities, that will be a key contributing factor of keeping people at DeKalb. But then also like having the right coaches in place, the right athletic director in place, all of those are really key components. Even in the show choir program, the show choir program has come leaps and bounds in the last 8 years. With a theater program, but then also getting that into the community more, advertising that more, posting about that more, I think would really help attract people into the community. Like, wow, I want to be part of that. And I want to be part of what DeKalb's got going on there, so.
Great, thank you. As a school board member, there are various obligations, commitments, and levels of involvement. How much time are you able or willing to dedicate to serving this role?
Well, I am an empty nester, so I have a lot of time on my hands these days. I do currently work at the Family Dollar Distribution Center, but I do have very flexible hours. I have options to work from home or work off-site. I'm currently have wrapped up my traveling role. I was traveling about once a month. So that's putting more time on my hands. But I do have a very flexible position where I'm at within the DC. I don't have to be there. Like if I have to go for training and all of that, plenty of PTO time. But yeah, so I would be available. And even like sporting events and graduation and all that fun stuff, I would definitely be there no matter what.
This vacancy appointment will serve from now through December 31st, 2026. The seat is up for election this year, with declarations of candidacy in May and the general election in November. What are your intentions regarding this role?
If I were to get the at-large position, I would definitely run to maintain that. To me, that's exciting. I have helped several within their campaign. The walking in the parades, the knocking on doors, the yard signs. I just really want to help promote DeKalb and get that excitement out there into the community. Now, if a little twist on the question, if I were not to get the position, which is, that would be okay too, because I would still show up. That's just who I am. Now, eventually, if somebody were to decide to retire that's over the Ashley Township area, then maybe I might run again. But yeah, just the future, you just never know. But I would love to just be part of what DeKalb has and what we're doing here, so.
Great, thank you. What do you see as the key challenges in school funding, both now and looking ahead?
Probably the biggest challenge is just with students going wherever they can with the sports and being able to pick and choose which school and the best schools they can go to. So with school funding, I think just being able to attract and keep them in the community, and then also wanting to come back to the community after they go on their own path, whether that's college, trades, whatever that case may be. So yeah, did I answer that one? I lost it. Just had the biggest challenge, right?
Right. School funding.
School funding, yes. So that would be something where like looking into what grants or being as resourceful as possible to try and keep some of that funding within the school and doing what we can for that funds. And that would be something I would definitely need to learn. I know from an employment standpoint, I do that all the time at work by having to write grants and applications and go through that process for staffing, but something we definitely to look at to attract into the county, so.
Okay, the next one is, the district uses a variety of methods to communicate throughout the community. How can the district improve communication and transparency? And what role should you as a board member, or could you as a board member play to help that effort?
Yeah, so I appreciate community engagement is key, just getting everybody's buy-in. I think it would be really neat, like doing like alumni polls, alumni spotlights across social media platforms, but then even having like a meet the board night, or having like quarterly sessions of, or board member highlights, something so people can get to know the board members more. Previously, I would say before Kaden got into athletics, I didn't know who anybody was, but I never was approached on board members or who they were or anything along those lines. So I think really meeting them where they are and going to them, like maybe at some of the community centers or just having a night of meet the board or things along those lines would be really good to get out into the community. So they could meet us and figure out who we are and know that we really do have everybody's best interest at heart.
Thank you. Welcome. My last question for you is, what does student academic success look like to you?
That's really tricky. So, as a mom, I never pushed my kids to go to college. If they want to go to college, that's great. But college is not for everyone. We need the janitors just as much as we need the doctors. So really, student success is different for every child. We want them to feel like they have a home, that they have a place within the school district, that they have a group that they can be part of, whether that's theater, technology, marching band, whatever the case may be, we want them to have a home. Like even with like unified sports, we want people to feel like they have a home within the district, so.
Thank you. Mr. O'Neill, please.
Mr. O'Neill has a question. Areas to improve in the DeKalb. Again, I'm looking back at the application. It said you mentioned the school board and the school perception and the community buying into the vision of the future. So here, it's getting more weird here.
That's okay.
If I could close my eyes and you could paint a picture for me of what is your vision for our school, what's it look like for me?
My vision for the school would be not to have enough parking spots. To have people so involved that they want to come out, that the football stands are packed so full that we might have to look into building another set of bleachers. Just getting more of that community involvement and that buy-in, that people want to be part of what we've got going on here. So if you think about the movie like Friday Night Lights and how crazy that is, or if you see a football game down in Texas, how the stands are just packed. That would be my vision for DeKalb, to have the whole community come out and show up for the kids.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To kind of touch upon it in a little different fashion. Again, perception of the board. What would you say the perception of the board is now, and what would you like to see it be in the future?
So I have been doing some, looking on social media and reading some of the posts that people have put and questioning, and it's great to question. We're here for those questions. We need to be able to answer those questions and explain the why. But like I said earlier, I think there are some keyboard warriors out there that maybe they just don't understand that our hearts are in the right place. Ultimately, we want the kids to be the best that they can be. So just getting in front of that, not necessarily engaging, because that's what they're trying to get us to do, is engage in that. But just be out there, positive, showing up every day, posting, and just killing them with kindness. Some people just need to know that we care.
Do we have anything else? Okay. Thank you, Echo. Appreciate you.
Make it efficient.
Right.
Did you draw? Are we sure?
Last but not
I didn't say it, names left in the bowl.
That was
That's good.
Hi, Shane.
Hi,
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight again.
yes.
All right, our first question tonight. What are the top 2 to 3 priorities you believe our district should focus on over the next 3 to 5 years? And how would you, as a board member, help achieve them while representing diverse community voices?
So first of all, I think DeKalb has a great academic stance, and the students have really been thriving with all the programs that they have. So maintaining that level of academics is probably my number one priority. But encompassing with that is all of the extracurricular activities that all the students enjoy. So those are kind of the main focuses would be for me as a board member. Can you repeat the question? Because it's a long-winded question.
What are the top 2 to 3 priorities you believe our district should focus on over the next 3 to 5 years? And how would you, as a board member, help achieve them while representing diverse community voices?
Yeah, so to help maintain those priorities, I think it comes down to us as a board working together to keep a united front and making sure that we have and continue to have student success on all levels.
Thank you. What are your top 3 goals as a school board member?
A lot of great momentum on facility upgrades. Continuing that momentum would be probably number 1. The proverbial build it and they will come. I like that because as I've heard questions before, as you will probably have another question, why are the students leaving? We need to try to draw them back, and getting us to today's standard would be ideal in my mind. Did I fully answer that question?
Yeah. Other goals, three goals.
Three
So
goals.
continue the momentum.
Yeah. Continue the momentum with the facility upgrades. Again, staying with the academic focus and keeping those programs alive that we have, and maybe potentially, and I know some of the other candidates have mentioned trades. Trades is a big important. We're losing a lot of trades in today's world. As a business owner, I see it, and it's really hard to find good people that want to do drywall, for example. So there's an art to it. So we need to find the folks and give them the skills and tools to succeed in life.
Thank you. What are the biggest challenges our district currently faces? And what solutions or perspectives would you bring to the table as a board member?
In this day and age, we have a multitude of different options. One of the reasons that I think that we're losing students, again, we need to try and bring them back in. We have online programs and different avenues for homeschooling, different avenues for kids to get their schooling, but are they getting their proper schooling at home and online? Are they being dedicated and getting the correct information in front of them is in question. So trying to bring them back into our school district would probably be number 1. So I don't know if I fully answered that question, but did I?
If you have any thoughts and perspectives as a board member on how to address that, but you kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. DeKalb and other similarly sized communities have experienced declining enrollment. What do you see as 3 main contributing factors to this trend?
I've touched on a little bit already, the online programs and all the other different avenues. Again, I don't think I have all the answers, but again, we have to work as a board to try and figure out what to do to bring students back in. So that would kind of be number one, but repeat the question again.
DeKalb and other similarly sized communities have experienced declining enrollment. What do you see as 3 main contributing factors to this trend?
So online programs and facilities. Facilities is part of that as well. A lot of students, I think, are, if they see other schools with newer facilities and higher standards, we need to meet that. So we can retain students and potentially bring them back in.
Next question is, as a school board member, there are various obligations, commitments, and levels of involvement. How much time are you able or willing to dedicate to serving this role?
Whatever's necessary. Yeah, pretty simple. I'm a business owner. Time is flexible, so yes.
The vacancy appointment will serve from now through December 31st, 2026. The seat is up for election this year, with declarations of candidacy in May and the general election in November. What are your intentions regarding this role?
I wouldn't be sitting here if I wasn't in it for the long haul. I fully expect, if I were to be part of the board, to go after the election. Absolutely.
Thank you. What do you see as the key challenges in school funding now, both now and looking ahead?
Well, obviously funding has been for the school, all school districts in Indiana, because of funding from the state legislation. It might be one of those things in a campaign trail. We need to get more people out there to vote, because that's, they're like, well, why aren't we able to do this? Well, we don't have the funds. So we need more people in the community to get involved and talk to their state legislation to potentially get things turned around.
Thank you. The district uses a variety of methods to communicate throughout the community. How can the district improve communication and transparency, and what role should the board play in that effort?
As far as communicating is really outside of DeKalb, I think, is getting involved in the community with other avenues, whether it's nonprofit organizations or the public library, and showing up to certain events and just kind of advocating and being present at the other events, and socially working the crowd, so to speak, to talk and promote DeKalb Central Schools and be present to have questions answered at other events that are outside of DeKalb Central. I should say, as well as being at DeKalb Central events.
Okay, my last question for you tonight. What does student academic success look like to you?
To me, probably a student leaving DeKalb Central and being able to contribute in society on all levels, whether it's going to be a electrician or going to secondary education and being a truck driver, whatever it is, as long as they're those individuals are happy and able to contribute to society and perform at a top level with whatever decision they choose to do.
Thank you.
Me again.
I'm looking right at this.
Right, yeah. Again, in your application, you mentioned what you thought the strengths of DeKalb were. And I'll listen for you.
Yeah, please do, because I've
You're
slept a
welcome.
couple nights since then.
Because I looked at them and then forgot what they were, so I had to type them up. There's 4 of them. You said strong academic achievement,
Mhm,
dedicated teachers and staff,
absolutely.
community engagement, and then student-centered programs. If you could pick maybe the top 2 of those 4, strong academic achievement, student or staff that's dedicated, community engagement, and student-centered program, which would be probably your top 2?
Staff and student success, for sure. The staff, I think, from my experiences I have, like I said, I have a middle school student, I have an elementary school student, in J.R. Watson. I've been blown away at the level of teachers and their academics, and they're great. I haven't come across it that one. So, I think I give kudos to Steve and his staff and, for, hiring great individuals and bringing great individuals into the Gallup Central.
Thank you.
So I want to make sure I heard you had 2 answers, and I want to make sure, because I think what I heard they may conflict with each other, so I want to make sure that we're on the same page. And the biggest challenges for the district currently facing, you said are online programs. Are you saying that you're not for the online programs? Because
No, I think
there's the next question, you say that what's the experience for declining enrollment? And again, you're saying online programs, so you think we're losing people because we have online programs, or?
Yes. There's a multitude of different scenarios where kids, parents believe that they can teach their students. I do know that there are some students who do online programming because they're fully involved in hockey or different sporting events, and they have travel programs that they're associated with. And so they do online learning.
Okay, I just want to make sure which side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you good?
Mhm.
Okay. One of your answers in your application was an area you thought we could improve on was open communication, transparency, and teamwork as a board. And I'm just wondering how you feel like you personally could help us with that. Do you have ideas or just experiences that you feel like you could help with open communication, transparency, and teamwork?
Do I have any specific ideas? I probably would say no. It's just probably, I think you guys are doing a great job. There's so many different avenues to get communication these days. And it's hard to get the correct information in front of the individuals who are looking for that information. So we really, do I have a magic 8-ball or crystal ball that tells me, hey, we need to do this? No, because, we may do social media posts, but there's individuals out there that aren't on social media. Even to this day, I mean, I'm on social media, but I don't really post anything. I don't do a whole lot of stuff on it, but can I pick it up and do some stuff? Yeah, absolutely. So, that's one thing that I probably would say, yeah, we could improve on that. How exactly we do that, I'm not sure, but let's talk about it, let's discuss it, and let's come up with a plan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? All right. Thank you, Shane.
Thanks.
I'm exhausted.
You guys have some hard jobs.
Yeah. Can I get a few minutes just to kind of look over my notes?
Yeah, I think.
If we need to
Mhm.
talk or whatever.
Yeah, we will discuss here and take some time and whenever you guys feel free. You guys are welcome to sit here, you can go have a break, whatever you guys wanna do, but
You need us to step out.
nope. This is everything's in
You
public.
can if you would like to, but
Yes.
it's not.
It's not required. You can stand
We
up.
can't require you to leave. Well, no one certainly made any of this easier tonight,
No.
so.
While I'm looking, I was anticipating, and so were we, that the Monday night was gonna be much longer. But we had the 3 questions and you had the chance to jot notes, and I think that compressed our time, which made that part easier for us.
Mhm.
It's the executive meeting that was hard, seriously hard, to try to figure out how we were gonna narrow it down, and then narrow it down again, and then narrow it down a little more, and then come up with questions that we thought were difficult, maybe revealing to a point. So I just want to thank everybody involved, that this is pretty serious stuff, obviously. We're talking about kids in the future and the community, and I can't thank the people engaged enough, and hope that if you don't get picked, that you still somehow get engaged, stay around. We need people like you who've stepped up with this to continue pushing more people to get involved. So I just want to thank everybody.
I agree with what you said, everything you said.
I thought it was very fitting that our last question was, what does student academic success look like to you? Because we have 3 DeKalb students right out here that model incredible DeKalb academic success. And I just think that's awesome. I'm so amazed and really just impressed. You all did a great job. You're all incredible alumni. And you did what you all said at this table. You all said that you hope people want to come back to our community and get involved. It's what many of us at this table have done. We hope our own children will do that. We hope we're creating schools that, the next generation want to come back and continue to do that. So it hit me as we were sitting here, like, wow, that's so cool. Our last question is, what does student academic success look like to you? And boom, I mean, you guys nailed it. So that's so cool. And I'd also like you to know that Mr. Teeters dug out your yearbook pictures today. So that was pretty special, I
Class
thought.
of
So,
99, 01, 02.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So,
You haven't changed a bit.
so anyway, we can go back to this. I just wanted to point that out, that.
Are we gonna do a side by side?
No one is judged by their yearbook pictures, because I certainly don't want you to wear mine, so.
So anyway, we can go back to discussing now. I just wanted to point that out, that kudos to all of you and thank you.
Ugh, this is-
You need Caden to sing? Is this what? Caden is to sing now? Break the tension, maybe?
I like this format because I heard several really good ideas that I had not thought of, that
I was writing that.
Steve was, I thought you needed another pen, but
Really got some good
guys,
takeaways.
those are
Yep.
things that we can take from you and discuss them later and just say what, because there are concerns that people have in the community. And without people coming in and voicing them in a positive way, you don't know, like you said, the people with their keyboards, those are tough to read sometimes. And it's hard to figure out what exactly they mean or what they want. Or maybe it's just, they just need something simple that just got out of control. So I really like several good ideas. I don't know that I'm gonna do this more often, but
No.
put people on the spot, but
I know I do say that all the time, we only know what we know. I mean,
Right.
so,
There were a number of comments about looking outside the box, right? It's very common, but it's hard for a lot of people to do, to look outside the box. Because you always have those other people say, well, that's not the way we do things. So, again, I think that's some of the perception problem that we may have, is that some of us like to do things differently, and that makes people uncomfortable. So to have individuals here that say they want to think and work outside the box, get ready. Because it will be taken differently by different people. Just like, you know, it said that, which one was it? Success is different for each student. That's because they all do it differently. So, I think that's one of the things that's always made DeKalb great, is that with the vast community that we have those different aspects and those different demographics that make us better. So.
well said.
And for all of you that answered the question about how much time you're willing to spend.
You have no idea.
Well, I mean, you know, we got a lot of other good comments below about the communication, because I know we keep saying that, Steve keeps going, what are we talking about? Communicating anymore. But, and then again, to say that we need to communicate, I think it's maybe what avenue haven't we thought of?
Right, that's what we're looking for, yeah.
So, I think that could be a beneficial as well. So. And then we also have to look at all the different demographics, right? We have a lot of what I'll call.
Just checking everyone.
Vietnam era individuals that still are active in the community. And technology is not necessarily their friend, so they like to communicate differently. So I think that's a big group that if we could get them roped in, I think that would be a huge benefit for the district.
Well, we did this to ourselves.
Yeah.
We brought 3 excellent people to the end, so. It's a good problem to have, but I don't like it.
Can I make a motion?
Okay.
I would like to make a motion to the at-large position for our current vacant seat. I would like to nominate Lauren Anderson. It's a motion.
We discuss,
You can have more discussion if you want.
Okay.
you know, throw out your highs, throw out your, you have to make a motion, second.
We have a
Yeah,
motion
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, we have to act on that first. So either a second
So I either have a second now and then we can have discussion or.
or,
And then vote. So we're looking for a second.
or it died because of the lack of second. One of those two.
Okay, wait, I got a question. We make a second, then we discuss it.
Then you vote.
Then we vote.
there's a second, then it calls for a vote.
If we let it die,
Then,
and we can then have more discussion,
And then another
we
motion.
should make another motion, which would be the same motion.
Could be any motion. But you need to announce as president that it died for lack of a second.
right.
Okay, if we second it, we discuss. We vote. I just need to understand the process.
Okay,
That's
so
why I'm asking.
I've called for a motion. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
But I'm clarifying. After we vote, whatever happens, can they make a motion for the same person after we vote? Like if,
No.
Yeah.
Good. I'm sorry, what?
Well, we have a second and the vote has occurred and.
Your motions
I
can
mean,
be.
we can vote for the same
You can make the
person.
same motion.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah,
Yes, you can make the same motion.
I guess I just want to discuss it, so I'm just
What you're
saying,
waiting
if
for now is if there is a second.
We can't
or
discuss it until we make a
dies
second.
For failure of a second.
No, you can discuss it. If we don't have a second, well, then we'd have to have another motion, or we can discuss it after a second, but then we have to have a vote.
And vote.
so we can discuss it either way.
We can. All we have to do is someone has to say that the first motion died because of the second.
All right, so again, we have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay. Motion dies
Now ask your question.
for lack of a
I would
second.
just like you to tell us give us your, setup. What's your why? Yeah, tell me your why.
My
I'm not
why.
anti it, they're all amazing. Just wanting you to sell it.
All of them said stay and grow. You know, all of them, we need to get people to come back, which I think is true with all schools. Everybody thinks that teacher retention isn't important. I don't think anybody thinks that that's not a good thing. Equality, advocacy for equality. That was something that Lauren said that I don't remember hearing from the others. Everybody knows we need to be fiscally responsible. I think that should be coming out of every school board member's name or out of their mouth. Challenges, we have good programs, but she was the one that mentioned not only evolving the trades, but mentioned other people mentioned the AP, but she also mentioned our special ed or our unified part. That's something that has been around for a long time, but now it's become more in the forefront in the last 5 or 6 years. That I think is a huge plus for us. They all mentioned facilities. If you don't, they will come. I get that. I was driving here coming in and looking at the softball field and I saw them working on the soccer press box. It's progress. I mean, if you got people working on the facilities, that's, so, to me, that stuck out. They all have, kids were engaged. Echo's kids are gone, but that doesn't mean she's not engaged. She was involved when her kids were going through. I appreciate that. There's nothing better than an involved parent that wants to make sure that things go the way they should go. School funding, I think, is foreign to everybody. It's just, it's a crazy animal. It's not like you're keeping track of your own house. School funding is typically not controlled by schools. It's controlled by people in Indianapolis, and I think as long as we're responsible with that, which I think everybody agrees is the thing. But she also mentioned that success is not just scores, and I can mention names of kids that probably never played, but man, they bust their butt all the time. From my experiences as a coach, from practicing it, and those people, I was a volleyball coach, baseball, football, those people are more successful than the people who were the players. So student success comes in weird ways, and it's not just student academics. If they're getting a good buzz working with Mr. Friels in the performing arts, man, they feel better about themselves. And I think Lauren brought that out more than the others. That's my perspective.
Thank you.
Well, my 2 cents.
Yes.
I think maybe this might be a way to first discuss each candidate. But as far as Lauren goes, again, touching upon the trades programs and the special ed programs, I thought was one of her strengths. Not so much about the extracurricular, but the coaching and the administration of those extracurricular activities. Again, I thought she hit that one very well. And then the diversity and different culture. Again, we're looking at community involvement, and we're looking for how do we get more people involved. And she didn't say it here tonight, but I know that she has that demographic that I just talked about earlier, and that she has a lot of friends and family in that demographic. So there's an avenue to help pull more people into the district for involvement, as well as getting their 2 cents as to how do we push forward in the community. So I think that's one of her strong strengths there. So, and she has helped out with the community or the committees. So she does know about the facilities and where we're at and the budgeting that we've done and where we're at in the planning process. So I think she brings that out as a strength as well. So,
Thank you.
what about you guys?
I know, are we going around? Going?
I would.
Okay. Or I can go next, if you want to collect your thoughts.
No. I mean, I agree with what you said. I mean, I do think Lauren talked a lot about the financials, which I thought was good. Touched on special ed. I mean, I can echo what you guys said. I mean, I took the same notes. Talked a lot about, not getting siloed into, one area. I mean, you could hear everyone's passion. I don't question that about anybody. They're all here for the right reasons, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I echo what you guys have said too. I mean, I do know that, her involvement in the facilities, I think was extremely helpful. I mean, she provided a lot of insight, in our advocacy group, our advisory board, things that I hadn't thought of or don't see. I haven't had middle school kids in a little while, and I thought that was very insightful when we toured facilities and whatnot. I know she's also been very involved in the DeKalb Central Foundation and finding other ways for fundraising and community outreach. So I feel like that's been important. I mean, awesome to have someone who's already been inserting themselves and being involved. I think that's a huge strength.
Okay.
So, I want to talk about equity.
Okay.
Again, I think a lot of great answers here. Again, the student athletes, the community call level, the diversification. But I really, really liked her answer to number 8. And even though I'm going, well, the hours that we are already doing are just gonna go up. I thought that, there was some real thought process on this as to how we communicate throughout the community and getting special events for the alumni back to school. I think that's a great idea. I really do. Maybe not. I mean, I know we've done stuff for like the state football team, but there's a lot of other activities that I think we could bring a lot of other people with that one. I'm not sure about the board member highlights, but.
I actually like that
It's
idea.
outside the box, that's the outside the box.
It is outside the box, but I liked that idea because meet the board members, because when I first came on the board, I don't remember who said, maybe it was Echo, about wanting to know who the board members were and didn't know.
Right.
I agree. When my kids first went to school, I had no idea who the board members were. And I didn't know how the process worked. I didn't know how the chain worked. And that was one thing that I, as a board member, wanted to be able to do was, make sure you have a face and you can connect that face and to that board member. And that's why my goal has been to attend events and be at everything and support everyone. I mean, not just my own kids' things. And sometimes it's convenient because my kid's there, but I mean, just to be there and be a part of things. And, and I want to try to get more to those younger families so that they know. And, if they know as their kids are younger, which was an awesome thing that we had on Monday night, how many people were here interviewing that had kids that not even in school yet, and they were already wanting to get involved.
Yeah.
So awesome. I loved that. But yeah, just, making it known, like, who are our board members? We should be known and we should be faces that people recognize.
The other thing that I like is that she is from Ashland. And again, it's not necessarily because she's from Ashland, but being a Waterloo kid all my life, I know what that comment is when they say, well, you're an Ashland kid, or you're a Waterloo kid. And I had to deal with that when I was in school. So, I think that's one of the other opportunities that we have is, again, how do we draw more of the community in? And we gotta get those rural kids involved just as much as we do the kids that are living real close to the schools. So I think that's a big positive because, again, we have more representation throughout the demographic of the district. So that's all I got.
So when I go to sleep tonight, thank you, Echo, I'm gonna close my eyes and see the stands packed. People standing around the track and trying to find where we're gonna put all these people, and they're parked in the field over here, and then we have to tow trucks to pull them out because it's,
Buddy.
Well, Val and I checked, there's plenty of bathrooms now.
well, I heard that the bathrooms are amazing. So that made my hair and my arms stand up a little bit. Okay, we're gonna pack this place again. And that's a compliment to the community. I think the community wants that. I think they see that things are moving in the right direction, and all three of you want to keep that push going, and we're excited to be here.
All right, Shane. I appreciate his, lots of mentions about the academics and continuing that momentum. I mean, he's clearly aware of, what's going on in that area and that focus.
Yeah, I know you mentioned like the online programs, but it's not just our online program, but like the homeschools. And I mean, we have options in our community for, private school and online, and there's a huge homeschool community. And, what do we continue to do better to draw those kids in and want to be part of DeKalb?
Yeah, I think when I asked him his 4 strengths, he mentioned the dedication from the teachers and the staff and the students in our programs. I don't think he's leaving out the strong academics because he came to DeKalb, like all 3 of them. And when his kids get older and older, he will get more engaged in that and see that our programs, academics, are way up there. And I think that's huge that maybe people in the community don't know. I don't know how you don't know, but our academics, it's tough here. We're not gonna make it easy for anybody. It's just, you come to DeKalb, the expectation is here. We're not just gonna get you here and push you through and say, hey, thanks, our graduation rate's up, maybe paper, we're up. But we're not here just to get you in here so we can take your money. We're here to make sure that you're pushed, because as we know, life is not easy. And it's not how you handle the successes in life, it's how you handle those failures. And you need to pull yourself up, and that's what school's about, being in-house. Things don't work out right, that's just the way it is, and you gotta figure out a way, and that's, whether it's academically or athletically, you gotta pick yourself up and not expect someone else to do it for you, and that's what I like.
I'm gonna turn to the board and ask anyone, do we have any motions?
I would like to make a motion to vote on Echo Cartel as our next vote.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Just give me a second. Okay, motion dies.
I'll make a motion to nominate Lauren Anderson.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations, Lauren.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I appreciate going through this process with you all.
Thank you. This is rough.
This is really hard.
Now,
You did a good job.
Oh, we have to adjourn.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I was ready.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was bad being on that side of it, but being on this side of it, this time this was rough. Like, it's hard. Very qualified people, and it's really hard to make this decision. So, thank you all for being here and being part of this tonight. At this time, I can open it up to miscellaneous. If any of our board members have anything else to speak to tonight, now's your time.
I'll save mine for Thursday. Next week,
Or Tuesday.
Tuesday.
whatever the day is.
We don't know.
Together.
It's on my phone, whatever it is.
Is the agenda in
Yeah, she just sent it out.
Yeah.
the, okay, all right.
Well, the board updates are
The board updates.
tomorrow, the board packet.
Right.
Okay, so, well, then I got one question. I'm gonna talk about budget on Tuesday.
We can if you want to.
Well, I want to
Full the
do,
Board of Finance.
what's the 2026 budget look like? What's our revenue and our expenses look like as a comparison?
Just
We'll have an
touch
update.
base with Mark to make sure that he knows exactly what.
We'll do, send me an email.
Right there.
Might be easier than I did.
Anything else from the board?
Nope.
Okay. Administration?
I just thank you, all three of you, for being here. Just a great representative of the Barons, so appreciate all of you.
And I'll open up public comment. Does anyone have anything this evening? Okay. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'll read into the minutes that our next organization and regular board meeting is January 13th, 2026 here at 6:00 p.m. We will have a special swearing-in ceremony that evening as well for our newest board member. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
I'll sugar get some.